It is July the 25th, 2025. This is things you might have heard. A quick update, 8 stories that we have been watching along with you that you deem conversational that we're going to chat about right now, right here, real quick for you on this beautiful Friday morning. And yes, in the tease, Hulk Hogan is there, plus some Chuck Mangione, a bit of a twofer because I had to get him in there, and Chuck E. Cheese. So it's sort of a nightmare for us Gen Xers on today in what's going on. Now, if you want to know more about what we do, go to our website. This is a conversationproject.com. More details about us. And as we get things back in order, you'll see more fun stuff there. We have lists for our partnerships, lists for our sponsors, and a bit of our backstory there as well. Also remind you our main headline sponsor today is Ground News. Check it out at this is the conversationproject.com/Ground News. It's an affiliate link that allows you to get in on a great deal from Ground News, 40% off their Advantage plan, and of course, gives us a small kickback in the sense there. So 8 stories as promised. Let's get into the 8 stories, technically 9 on the day, because we snuck in this one right here. And that is for the passing of Hulk Hogan and Chuck Mangione. Now, wrestling icon Hulk Hogan and jazz flugelhornist, that's what it's called, Chuck Mangione, both passed away yesterday, marking the end of 2 vastly different and influential cultural legacies. A lot of talk gone on Hulk Hogan. In fact, we did a long hot take on that ourselves, on the transformation of professional wrestling into mainstream and the transformation of essentially reality TV, as he was one of the pioneers with Hogan Knows Best. And of course, a lot of the bad things went along with Hogan once you knew more about Terry Bollea and that goes as it goes along. Also, Mangione died yesterday at 83. Best known for his 77 crossover hit "Feel So Good," which played all over the place and is one of the staple in smooth jazz and, of course, elevator music. And, of course, being a reluctant star, if you will, of King of the Hill, more of a foil, if you're going. The tributes to both their deaths have gone out all over the place. Of course, the bigger ones you would say were Hulk Hogan because of the cultural impact of him and himself, good or ill, and, of course, his ties right now to the Republican Party as things are going on. Going on to our next story, Columbia University reaches a $2.2 million deal with Trump to restore federal funding. They agreed to this deal, and the university president has gone on the record, gone on all the TV shows to explain how they're doing this and why, in an extremely calm manner, to basically settle up with the Trump administration, literally in dollars and in sort of its mindset of what's going on. The standoff over federal funding is now done. The deal reportedly follows months of negotiations, so it took a while there, and dealing with, as the Trump administration wants to basically eliminate, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Trump's education official claimed that Columbia has violated Title IX by allegedly restricting access to federally funded programs based on ideology. Though Title IX was originally put out there essentially for getting women more involved in things, essentially saying that the free speech, or the overly emphasis on free speech, has allowed other folks not to engage in their actual contents of their education. Funding will resume, but ignited backlash with academic freedom and civil rights organizations, essentially eliminating all things that are dealing with diversity, dealing with inclusion, saying that other people count is a failing of education, apparently, as opposed to educating, making sure that all people count. Your mileage may vary on this one. We're going to see how this one plays out, and at other universities, larger and smaller, going forward. An interesting new take as Trump signs an executive order targeting homelessness and encampments across the nation. Basically, Trump took the pen or Sharpie to paper to say, get rid of all the encampments, everyone, period. It urges cities and states to dismantle the homeless encampments, but it doesn't really give them any way to do it. It's one of those things that are just one of the oddities of the executive order is Trump can say, I want this thing to happen, and then put no money, no power, no effort behind it. So you just kind of shrug your shoulders and say, how do we do this? The move is framed as part of a broader law and order platform for his 2024 presidential campaign, as he states that the look, the feel, homeless encampments basically are asking for crime and asking for bad tidings, asking for places to look terrible. You may have seen a lot of talk we've done here on our shows about California trying to deal with its program, as Gavin Newsom has now become more or less a convert in trying to get rid of homeless encampments as well. So supporters say it's overdue in many places. I live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we have a very serious homeless problem. Not quite a sanctuary city, but we are fairly accommodating to homeless folks. It is what it is. But on the flip side, the question is, Are there any more services putting out there? Any money? Or just going to sweep them up, put them in a warehouse? Will they get housing? Will they get medicine and mental health because the people that actually are homeless need these things? What's going to be happening? What's going to be happening? What will happen to the people once you clean up the streets when they have to exist somewhere? Where will they go? And of course, the more devious thought process is once they round up these people, who are they rounding up next? The irony of this is not lost on many, as Paramount and Skydance are now one. FCC has actually greenlit the Paramount Skydance merger after months of regulatory delays, internal boardroom tension, and of course, Donald Trump. The approval followed new pledges from CBS under Skydance leadership to roll back certain diversity and initiatives for inclusion. You may have heard that one a few stories prior. Merger creates a streamlined entertainment powerhouse combining legacy content libraries and newer tech-driven strategies. Of course, the DEI critics are out there on both sides saying there should be more of something to make us all seem the same, or all seem different, or all seem vanilla, if you will, though I tend to like vanilla. But the cynical concessions of the fact that essentially Skydance and CBS has caved, especially in light of the Stephen Colbert stuff and the Jon Stewart stuff. Oh, by the way, Paramount, which is a part of CBS, so the whole deal here, has a new home for South Park. And on the day they announced their new $1 billion deal to put every South Park now on Paramount, their season opens with a thrashing of Donald Trump and some very vulgar things. Check it out on your Paramount Plus today. We ask you to like, share, and subscribe. Take a moment to show us and show the internets how well you enjoy what we're doing, the us's. So if you like this video, like our content, it shows me I'm doing good content, doing the right stuff, having the right mix of content and commentary. A little less commentary as you try to do these things faster, pithier, quicker. But we have the right stories that you say were conversational. We use you guys as a way to gauge great stories with things that are good to talk about. So we're gauging the right ones. Like is just like, applause, telling us what's going on. Thumbs up on whatever platform you're on, X, Facebook, or on YouTube. YouTube is where we're gauging things, so that'd be nice to know. Share with our like-minded folks so that they can see good stuff, great stuff, we think, in the way of commentary and news, things like that. And if you like and share with more people and they see that, the algorithms thinks these are really good things, and they'll help share it and like it with other folks. They'll help share it with other folks. The algorithm won't actually like it, but they'll push it to more people, see it, more folks can see it. And if you're not getting me in your feed automatically, whether I pop up live here or there, or in the hot takes that come through throughout the day, make sure you subscribe so you get us in whatever form you want to. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on YouTube. We're trying to work to get everything back in order with the podcast and things like that. So check it out as well. Also, the hot takes on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, things like that are there as well. Subscribe to those along as well. This story is not going away anytime soon because this man not quite going away as soon as we thought. Federal judge has temporarily blocked the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was set to leave into detention this week. 30-day stay allows time to review legal motions surrounding his case, which involves immigration violations and, of course, potential, but basically the point is eventual extradition. His advocates claim the delay is stalling tactic influenced by political pressure, just trying to put a little extra mustard on their grievousness. And prosecutors argue that the legitimate concerns over flight risks are due process issues. So they send him home. He may run someplace else. It adds a new layer to the already polarizing cases, and this case particularly, on immigration enforcement policy. Mike Lindell gets to breathe a quick sigh of relief as he wins an appeal in a $5 million election data dispute. The MyPillow guy and prominent 2022 election conspiracy theorist, the words of the robot editor, not quite mine, although they are, won an appeal that voids a $5 million arbitration ruling. The original award was granted to a software expert who disproved Lindell's claims about Chinese interference in the 2020 election. But now the appeals court and the arbitrator says that it's exceeded the authority by applying rules not applied by both parties. So this one is axed. He now avoids multi-million-dollar payout in this case, but other cases can still be vindicated and even stuck for those catches as well. We'll see how more Lindell stuff plays out as he's still trying to fight all the money he's currently owed and, of course, keep his company running, which you may not have seen too many commercials for because now they're basically all on OAN and Newsmax. Poppi, the probiotic soda that may or may not be something good for you or may not taste great to you, has settled a lawsuit, class action lawsuit, paying out $8.9 million to settle this for the beverage brand. Misleading health claims in its marketing. Plaintiffs argue that the brand overstated the benefits of its prebiotic sodas, basically saying the gut health claims. Basically, they don't do what they say they do, but because they said it, people bought it. And since they bought it, $8.9 million will go out in class action payments to sort of fix this. The wrongdoing has been denied, or actually, Poppi has denied no wrongdoing, I should say, but agreed to the terms to avoid any extended legal costs and actions just to get out of court. They're saying, we're not saying anything wrong, but here's some money to make it go away. Literally making it go away with cash. Oh, one less cash thing to end our weekend on a note of joy or sadness or just kind of head scratching, if you will. This picture here shows a Chuck E. Cheese performer in costume being walked out by police. This is not made up for social media. This is not a prank. This is not AI. A Chuck E. Cheese performer was arrested for credit card fraud while in costume. The employee was arrested while still in costume in Tallahassee, where they were running a side scheme involving stolen credit data. The arrest occurred mid-shift, causing confusion among families and entertainment center as people saw Chucky being handcuffed and walked away. The kids were like, what's going on? The parents were like, hey, what the hell's going on? And the explanation, it makes us all think what the hell was going on. Management issued a statement distancing the corporation from the incident, the Chuck E. Cheese corporate and Chuck E. Cheese guy in costume, and promising cooperation with authorities. The bizarre visual of a costume mouse in cuffs has since gone viral on social media. You see pictures like this one. You see pictures of him walking to the car. I'm assuming they actually took his head off and they put him into the car, but he was in costume all the way to the clink. That is how this one rolled on this very odd week of stuff. That's an odder piece of this odd week of stuff. Let's talk about Ground News. They are our spotlight sponsor for today. And Ground News offers you a chance to get great news coverage, or maybe if you think your coverage is great, the not great news coverage other people are giving you. What Ground News offers up is side-by-side comparisons of all the headlines, all the stories, all the sources for all the news stories out there, local, national, and of course, international stories. If you are a siloed news person who likes to get things from a lefter standpoint or a writer standpoint, then Ground News is a place to get the opposite way. If you're a person who actually wants to see what other sites are talking about, you can see what's going on and gauge for yourself what stories really do make the grade and what stories are kind of out there. It's fairly simple. You sign up for Ground News, sign up for their plans, and they will give you a side-by-side comparison of all the news, plus source data, who's running the stations, who's running the sources, and what kind of reputations they have. Plus, their blind spot feature allows you literally to just see what stories are being covered exclusively by biased sides, left and right. So stories that they want you to see more of, and what stories the other side does not want you to see the most of. It looks like that. And we have a great deal for you. If you go to our link, this is theconversationproject.com/ground news. This is theconversationproject.com/ground news. It will allow you 40% off their plans, including an advantage plan, the full plan of all the news action they have. We use that ourselves to gauge some of the stories we provide for you here, and we think it's awesome. We hope you think so as well. And if you join in with them, we get a small commission for that because this is an affiliate link. I have to say that for all the sponsors to make it all legal. So check it out at this is theconversationproject.com/ground news. It's an app for your Android or your iPhone, or it's a website for your website. However you want to get your Ground News, it's there for you 24/7. With that, we have somehow miraculously got 3 of 5 days worth of things you might have heard in this new format, which I am growing onto, although I do miss more of the commentary, but it seems like these versions are getting more love, more looks, and more reads. So we're going to go with this right now. We'll tweak it a little bit to make it work out. And of course, as I have a bit more time, get back into an actual routine and have things kind of settled, it will sound much smoother, look smoother, things like that. In the meantime, we still have to make time for some hot takes, plenty of those on TikTok and on YouTube. So check those out as well. Follow us on our feeds, get all the love. Make sure you are joining us to make sure we're getting the right stories in, because these are stories based on what's conversational, not just what's trending at the moment, what an X might say, but it's what you will say using X, if you will. It's been a great week. Thank you so much for joining us for this. We'll do more to turn this into a staple again starting next week. Love you. Mean it. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you come Monday.